Let's talk about it. Say you don't like it, let's talk about it. Alright, I'm always on the grind. Yeah, let's talk about it. Always got money on my mind. Girl, let's talk about it. Say you don't like this life of mine. Wanna talk about it? Yeah, I'm always on the grind. Let's talk about it. Okay, I gotta shine. Let's talk about it. Always got money on my mind. Girl, let's talk about it. Say you don't like this life of mine. Let's talk about it. Okay, I'm always on the grind. Girl, let's talk about it. Yeah, I gotta shine. Let's talk about it. Always got money on my mind. Girl, let's talk about it.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What's up? What's God body? Merry Sunday in the motherfucking house. What's the business? The original. A-Ceezy. A-C-Easy is in the building. He is up here.
God body, what's happening?
God body. What's the business? Hey man, just throw this good energy out there, man. Happy Sunday. I know everybody is watching the NFL. Caught out there in the world. You got a lot of Cowboys fans out there popping. I say, in the midst of all that, man, the good thing I seen over the weekend, I seen the rise of what they call the black quarterback and Deion Sanders, the coaches. I see a formation of going through the fire and becoming that being that you're supposed to be. So I have to say this, up until this point, nothing matters. Nothing matters. It only matters what you do and think past this point. And with that being said, presently, man, we're going to go from all the way from the beginnings to where we are today. No better way to start that off than actually hit up a little bit, show exactly what we're going to be into today. Tonight, get to it.
County to county, worse than the bounty, so a hustle. After the loss of so many homies, get an understanding of how wicked this land that we living in really is. Complicated when you can make it that way. Yet I'm constantly trying to make my way out. Leave no room for excuse. I put my soul on the line with every move that I made. Standing over his grave, thinking of my last days. We mob kept conversations that we slave. Gotta keep my focus, keep my eyes open. I told the people retaliation techniques like the homie Swoop said. Remember the prophecies up in California, cuz driving it almost like the mission impossible. Yeah, we made that happen. A-Ceezy. Hit 'em up with Southwest, which is the hood folks claiming catastrophes happen, seat known in the T. Take it all the way back to Texas when you're sleeping on my strategy. County to county, worse than the bounty, so a hustle. Hit 'em up with Southwest, which is the hood folks claiming catastrophes happen, seat known in the T. Take it all the way back to Texas when you're sleeping on my strategy. From county to county, worse than the bounty, so a hustle. No wind blowing, leaves waving, think it's slow smoke, or maybe creeping flex. All homies from the foes. Family orientated, man, think of the game on scratch. Put the ski mask on, and I dash to the back. I'm stated as a G, cats is after, so call it animosity. Chose to look past all them cats on the block that didn't understand the way I had to push them pockets or not, because of the pattern I'm thinking on. Cats trying to creep with the chrome it's on. Animosity be creeping like a magnet. Gotta hit 'em up with the 4-5 Magnum. Easy, hit 'em up with Southwest, which is the hood folks claiming catastrophes happen, seat known in the T. Take it all the way back to Texas when you're sleeping on my strategy. From county to county, worse than the bounty, so easy. Hit 'em up with Southwest, which is the hood folks claiming catastrophes happen, seat known in the T. Take it all the way back to Texas when you're sleeping on my strategy. From county to county, worse than the bounty, so a hustle. Sucker sauce, put it down. So that jealousy set in, and now they thinking try to get me and make some instant quick ends, but it's playing out of flaw. Cause the profits racing cheese. Champagne told me got the word, cause she was freaking on the ease. Trying to trip no matter what the cost, committed to ACE. 9 o'clock, I grab the Glock and slid the word through the swoop. Came through drops, top cocaine, my was dipping in the cool. Hit 'em up with Southwest, which is the hood folks claim catastrophes happen, seat known in the T. Take it all the way back to Texas when you're sleeping on my strategy. County to county, worse than the bounty, so a hustle. Caught the attention and now I'm dubbing on the bus. Real life professional, check you in.
Yeah.
No accent. Just slide with us, just real life. Ride with us, Trump.
HABON.
God body. God body, official. Hey, CZ, God body, man. Where you from, King? Like where you from? Where your humble beginners began?
Man, I'd have to say, man, I'm rooted in Soul, Mississippi. But mom and dad from Mississippi, but I was raised on the West Coast. I was born overseas, but I'm California raised. You know what I'm saying? Attack Town. Tacoma, Washington. Most of my life been on the West Side, man. But I moved down to Texas probably about 15 years ago. You know,
God
so
body,
it's been Southwest riding so far.
God body, man. With that being said, man, a lot of people don't know that they beginners. A lot of people beginners started in the South, and they gravitated, however, to the West Coast and made like a name for themselves. Most known like Tookie Williams, one of the most notable people, was definitely from Louisiana, Mississippi, so one of them places too as well, and actually gravitated
Right, right.
to the West Coast. I don't know what's up there to the goddess Cali. What's popping? What's popping California? Hey, we in there tonight, man. And I see the blue bandana, man. What's going down? What's the histories with that? I say what's popping sometimes.
Uh,
Just between our language, a lot get caught in that, man. But what's the history there, man? Like the neighborhood you from, like the differences between where you go through, and especially our people from the beginning. We want to start there to see where you at in life now. Um, Man, and let me, I have to say this to give my brother introduction. God Body has more music than anybody I can think about. He has a repetition of recording, like consistently every day. It is definitely something that he takes seriously and highly. One of those people where you say that they have all the right tools, might have not been the right opportunities. A lot of people have opportunities, and especially these days in this world, like you can be a preacher in this day and age. And I ain't too trying to go too far away from your interview. We're gonna definitely stay stuck on the topic and stories in hand. But a lot of people don't get the credit that they actually are due in this world, because everything is looked at from a outer perspective. Like people don't see people who they truly are until they become that person. You know, nobody supports people when they're in transition. You get all the support when you get there. This is just the world we live in. It's the reality of the matrix. And until we get to a point where we realize that you are the only thing that matters, you can be stuck in the matrix. So just saying from that humble beginnings that you have, um, yeah, bro, what did it take to, like, yeah, let's go to rundown, like where it started. Like if you're giving your life story and you putting it down there, the music that you do every day, where does that energy come from? Like where do you come from? What was your upbringing? What was your upbringing like?
Shoot, I was raised on the West, man. So, as a teen, we grew up mostly around gangs, so our neighborhood was probably four different gangs, we talking about, teenage years, 12 on up until you graduated. So survival, that's the main thing. And then, seeing people die in the sixth grade, seeing young cats get killed, man. That either you had as kids, we have a lot of dreams. We talk about being a lot of things. So seeing a lot of them young youths, lose their lives and their dreams never, come into existence. It makes you say that, you have to remember the things you spoke to those people no longer here. So now you begin to check yourself. So my drive has always came from checking myself on the words I spoke to those no longer here. You know what I mean? It's like, my brother got killed. I remember telling him before he got killed, I'll ride for you. So when he got killed, now you checking yourself on the words you spoke. Will you ride? You feel me? So this ain't about trying to be hard. It's about being real. Like what's his name? Mr. Mike say. He say the hardest thing about being real is keeping it real. But the first thing is keeping it real with yourself. So a lot of artists, they try to keep it real with the public before they even know who they really are. That's why it's hard for them to find their true identity because they walk around trying to copycat somebody else's marker. Wrong, wrong. Your story ain't told until it's over. You feel me? So like
Hmm.
A lot of people might say I got a lot of music and I maybe didn't make it in time or I'm doing something wrong. But if they love the Bible, then Job did something wrong too, right? He lost everything. So they'll say I lost every chance. Maybe I ain't lose every chance. Maybe I'm just the one to show you how to keep faith alive when everybody else think you shouldn't have it. You feel me? So
God
that's
brought
what I do is be an example of true faith. And my faith started with believing in myself. And by expressing my conditions and things around me, that fell through music. So
God
that
brought
sums
it.
all that up. That's where that
Hey,
comes
no,
from.
that's bro, that is real. In this day and age, all the people, I think everybody needs a reason to keep going. Because I see more reasons to stop going than I see reasons to quit for a lot of people, bro. You see virtually cities on fire. I mean, literally burning down. Um, Meanwhile, they're saying, hey, it's gonna be shutdowns. Hey, this video is for educational purposes only, too, as well. We're not doctors, scientists, anything of the above. Just to get that disclaimer out there, we'll put the fair act use in the description as well. But yeah, bro. End of the day, in this day and age, everybody needs a reason to keep doing something. And if I can look at and say, what do I admire about a guy Ace, the person that I know? Like, I had to say, God body, dude follows all the codes of a Black Knight. By the way, y'all gonna have to check that. Black Knights, I mean, we gotta shoot the video. It's gonna be the official representation of putting that energy out there to say there are still men out there that carry the code of chivalry. They do carry the code of chivalry. They really gonna protect their family and all that. But however which way, with them being a man like carrying that energy, you cannot be a person to where the woman has you bound or you have submitted, because once you submit, there's nothing for a woman to submit to. You end up with having men on purses and all kind of things. And I'm not knocking that. However, a CZ has on a belt.
I'm not gonna.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to get to, right? Word life. Because we want to definitely keep that
I'm not. I'm
spotlight on
not.
the God. Like, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I mean, because hey, I'm the one to think the men have to get the men under a certain code and ethic, and the women, the goddesses, they have to get the goddesses under a certain code and ethics. A man cannot train a woman and teach a woman to see something that she didn't have. She was supposed to have a mother and a father. The little boy was supposed to have a mother and a father. So if the person only gets one energy and their energy is disrupted because they don't have, then the man can't step in and now try to take that place. The other goddesses are going to have to do that. A goddess can't step in with a bunch of group of boys and teach them to be men. Other men are gonna definitely have to do that because of the experience. So you say you knocked that. Let's talk about it. Hey, CZ, what do you feel? You have a son, and your son is in the home with you, and it's popular for him to put on a carrying purse. Well, what's the issue? That's the style now. I mean, what's the issue there?
Like I always said, common sense is not common in America. That's my first leading statement. You feel me? So you'll find, like my pops told me one time, he heard me say something, and he said, "I'm telling people what religion or how to have a religion." And I was like, "No, I'm saying if you say you believe in God and you keep saying God this and God that, then how do you follow these broken laws just because a bunch of people is doing it?" So let's say a bunch of men is walking down the street, and the first man in the front bends over, pulls his pants down, and every man behind him starts to put his thing in. Is that the shit to do because a lot of niggas did it? No. And that's how stupid America is. They continue to show you stupid shit so you can say, look at the followers they got. They gotta be important. Stupid. Stupid. That is like they always say, easy to lead in the wrong, hard to lead in the right. So you find a group of people, most of the time they probably on some wrong shit. Straight factors.
But
You know what I mean? But some wrong shit going on. Real life.
but could you
Real life.
could you
That gay shit
yeah.
is a corruption of organized structure, which came from the creator. Organized structure that came from the creator. I'm not talking about like people say they got faith and they still want to say they this new switched over being. So you got a female that say she a dude, but she'll say her prayers at night, right? But what do your prayers start out with? Lead us not in temptation. Everything you decide to do is based on a hormonic temptational faith that you actually sold on yourself. Now you say you're supposed to be something else. Now you saying the creator is what? Wrong. He created you wrong. Now you blasting the creator and you want me to be in alliance with you blasting the creator. Ain't that what Satan did with his 200 followers when they all went in alliance to take the women as their wives? When they all said, we'll take the punishment together? So that's how I feel about that gay shit. Is that the rulers of the world is like, let me push that men need to be more feminine. Because what happened? The time you got this feminine movement was after a Tupac and Biggie death. That was after that. So that obviously got to be your marker that men, average men, were showing through music that these were your new politicians that would make the new laws in society. It was not your government. It was not your president. It was your hip hop artists. So what they had to do was attack the hip hop industry, and they had to take the balls away from the man in the hip hop industry. Now he walking around with a goddamn purse on and some skinny ass jeans, making his kneecaps bust out of his jeans, and he think he cool because he can do a dance that the girl did at the strip club last night. Real life, cuz. Real life.
God body.
How you see your father on Father's Day? How you see your father on Father's Day? Well, Daddy, this is what they all doing. Your daddy like, well, how you gonna give birth to that Jesus that was supposed to come out? Number one, you got two women sleeping together, two men sleeping together. So how is a Jesus supposed to come back when man and woman was supposed to do what? Reproduce
Man,
for that purpose, right?
God
So
body.
if you get woman and woman sleeping with woman, the only way they can get a baby, but check out this shit. Now you can have a baby in a bubble. So that means they telling you now we don't even want you. They going back to why Adam and Eve even got their existing marker because they was part of the first ones that actually had the real birth the way we have it today. Ain't that some shit?
It is.
Ain't that some shit?
It is. It is.
Hey, bro.
It is.
Hey, bro.
And
But that gay shit is all the devil's plan. That's the devil's plan. I'm sorry. I don't care who in alliance with it. That's the devil's plan. Real life. You let your little boy walk around with a damn dress on because you think everybody's in alliance with that. You just sold your soul. That's just what that is. I want you to explain that to God when you get to heaven. When he say that was supposed to be the Messiah, the man Messiah. But you just switched that up because of your own liking because you wanted to be with a woman. And you mad at the dude that gave birth to your son.
yeah, God body.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And that's deep you hit because how do you give wisdom? How do you accept wisdom? Like I heard an old lady say today, and it's something like I say the goddesses have to speak with the goddesses. But end of the day, I heard an old lady say that she doesn't worry about if a man is interested in other women. She's not interested in that. She said because number one, how did she know? She said, how do I know? And then we go into the intuition phase of what a person could feel or think. You go into all these things that you didn't have when you was a baby, when you was born pure. You know, the only thing you knew when you was a baby, hey, I knew you laughing and smiling. A lot of these babies, they grow up knowing that they left one reality, and they know a lot of the people around them already. They really already feel a connection
Right.
from the time they come out. And I think it's absurd to the average person, but I think as longer we're here, we kind of forget. We
Yeah.
forget, like, and it makes us take each other for granted. Some of the greatest,
It's just like a baby though.
yeah,
The babies is guided with instructions, and depending on who take that baby home, you know what I mean. That's when their corruption starts from that pure that you were talking about.
man,
You know, it's like the people in the community. Like I said again, your phone is a part of the eye. You know, the eye raw. Yeah, everything's connected. Everything's connected. Everything's connected. You worship this social media, worshiping it. Very seldom we bump into human beings and really have a real human being conversation anymore. We in a hurry to get back to our car to put the phone back up to talk to people that ain't nowhere close to us because we all about selling concepts
I mean, yeah, but
instead of just being real life. Instead of being real life.
but even the people you're around from day to day, you hear so many people say, "Hey, I'm not cool with my family. I'm not." They're not really feeling the people around them because we're taking for granted the people around us. That I put it like this: there was a one, there
Yeah.
was a 1 in a million chance or a 1 in a billion chance that you would be here. Every time a man has an ejaculation, there are literally, uh, somewhere up in over a million sperm cells that take swim up to 2 billion. So when you look at that, for that one cell to touch reach that egg, once that one, it got to swim upstream. It has to fight against the currents of the vaginal walls throwing chemicals out that's meant to cleanse the body, and it starts killing the sperm cells immediately. It has to go through a lot of different cycles. So this whole earth we live in, you was one of those billion chances that you would be here during that ejaculation.
And what?
But we.
So what you just said, as hard as that is, and then you want to come out and say that it came out wrong. It was supposed to be something else.
Here we go. Here we go. But this hey,
It then went through all that battle, and all you concerned with is your sexual arousal.
that's it. And
Because it ain't got nothing to do with, because half the women end up getting a dude that look like the ugliest dude you ever saw in the world. Like he homeless. No, she homeless,
yeah.
but that's her new dude.
But what were they
Crazy, kid.
what were they programmed? What's the program? What were they programmed to actually think a good man was? What was that man programmed to think a good woman was? I remember when we were coming up, Holly Berry was a beautiful woman. Now the woman, the bad, that she is gonna be the woman with the BBL. Um, she could be a yellow. She could wear glasses. She could be glasses. As long as she can shake and that, that the rear, as long as that's bumping right and that's hitting right for real, like that's a bad mo. And that's what I want to be with. Like, so if we look at the training and the programs, yeah, because in the music, bro, when we was coming up, we seen both shifts.
Hey, it's a weakness.
Yeah, we
It's a weakness, man. My mama been around. My mama been around through all those programs, and she still ain't decided to wear no panties or no drawers that show her booty, like real life. No matter about the brainwash or not, my mama been here through all those existing generations, and she's seen the TV. It ain't made her decide to say that this is what women do now. So that's a weakness that people have. Women have those particular women have to identify that they have a weakness. Don't blame it on a man, and the man used to say bitches in their raps. Don't give it that. Because if that's the case, then I should go outside and just kill a bunch of people today because that's all I listen to. I grew up on that. If you don't like me, we have a disagreement, fuck it, let's bomb on each other until one can't get up. You feel me? But I give people chances though. So it can't be that you was brainwashing influence. You had a weakness. You weak. You sell your soul. Look at social media. Most women right now show off their ass and titties, but back in the 80s to early 90s, they was talking about what? Know me for my thoughts. Now you don't even want a nigga to know nothing about your thoughts now, except for you know what gun is the new hottest gun, and you show your ass and your pussy and your titties,
why you
and a nigga supposed to show you respect.
why you think they do that though?
Cause she weak. She weak. Cause she weak,
I'm talking about
bro. I'm not wearing no.
legit.
I'm not wearing skinny jeans to show my balls and my manhood, so I can get new women. And I know I'm blessed. I'm not doing that, and that's what everybody doing. It's a style. So again, we all got choices to make. There's no excuses. We all got choices to make. And the choice that you make, you got to be an individual to say, I got to wake up from child's play and become an adult. We can all say that, hey, these women ain't have good upbringings. Man, fuck that upbringing. They've been around long enough to see what the fuck wrong and right is. I'm tired of hearing excuses. They blame it on somebody that didn't have a mama. Well, he ain't have a mama. That's why he act like he want to carry a purse. Man, fuck that shit. That nigga know he a fucking man. I go in the
Right.
store today, dude want people to dress him as a woman. Hell no, nigga, you a dude, dog. What's up, partner?
Hold on,
You know
hey,
what I mean? Like
you can't. That's a they or shim. Like they have adjectives. You know what
I don't believe in none of that shit.
I'm saying? Yeah, yeah.
It is what it is. But when it was the '80s, it's still what it was in the '80s. Yeah, I ain't gonna mess your show up, but it is what it is was in the '80s. Ain't nothing changed.
Right,
So they
right.
give all that names, then why killers can't come out and just be accepted for being killers? You feel me? They feel that they was born that way. Pedophiles. Why don't they accept pedophiles? The pedophile feel like he always gonna be 12, even though he 49 years old wanting to mess with a 13-year-old. Accept him because he feel his hormonic side said that. You feel me? Because that's what we saying when we roll into punches with them, saying accept that because I was born this way. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Fuck out of here.
yeah,
You know what I mean? A child molester was born like that too, but we ain't letting his ass free because he was born like that.
nah.
So I ain't gonna let them make it because they say that shit.
Hey, bro, and
Real life,
I've
bro.
been hearing that. That's how I know it's a program. I've been hearing that a lot in the communities lately. A lot of men have been saying blatantly, "Yeah, bro, she bleeding. She over about 18. I'm a knocker. They don't care if they 40 years old or nothing. Where is the energy
That's a fucked up
of
dude.
restraint? I'm just saying, but
That's a fucked up.
yeah, and this go for men and women. I say the women have to quit saying men, and men have to quit saying women. We have to start
Right.
looking at individual situations to actually get
There we go.
resolutions because us mixing all these situations like they coloring books and calling people colors and mixing all the people together, hey, it's not working. So at the end of the day, we have to go into
Nah.
individual situations.
We got to do by example. Like really, when you was just talking, I was thinking any one of those characters you said, man or woman, they got to make a change. Those men or women, if they have kids, do they even care about their kids? Because if they did, then they would be changing a lot of what they doing. Like I said, you got women that'll walk around with their little bitty girl that you know ain't even up to her thigh. But what she got her dressed in, the same outfit she got on, and the same way. So that's her. They ain't got nothing to do with the dude. But the dude that got a son, look how he carry himself. Like he don't even care about how he treat women around a young man to make this young man believe that women should be treated a certain way. So, like you say, from man to woman, both have to be an example of that structure that they would hope for if they loved somebody for them to have.
Shout out to the goddess.
You feel
You know,
me?
I gotta say this because we are two guys. Like we on here right now. So shout out to the goddesses because of this. Um, a woman, I think is, bro. They have been put under so much pressure to keep hold of kids. They got to balance kids, families, husband, his sexual exploitations. They've had to balance all of this things and mix it up in one pot. They do a stumbling act, and bro, I seen earlier somebody so frustrated because they really have no let me back up. Even if they have time where they say, let me back up and get me some this time or that time. Their mind is constantly
Right.
running in a fashion to where they can't even give themselves leisure when they need it. So women are not meant to be made here to like they say, Eve came from the rib of Adam. So if she came from his rib and she's here to be his helper, to be his helper or to be his sidekick, you know, his person, but um that guy's calling her a bitch and she's calling other women that look like her bitches, and we get to this community to where we are here where we are today. When once we get to this point, and I said this at the very beginning, nothing matters how you got here. How we got here today, for anybody out there, the only thing that matters to now is what we do after this point. Because we about to go deep. Like we got ACZ, man. We got the prophet in here. Bro has over, I'm gonna say at least 200,000 songs. He literally goes and makes songs, and I hope that even this interview brings a different kind of energy and even a different presence to the Jews he dropped. I hope that after the end of this, there's definitely something he even takes from this interview to where he sees a part of himself to like, hey, yeah, enlightenment. I seen something different even within myself to actually change the structure because I feel like we have to change the timelines. Like you have something intentionally putting everything out there for us to see our own demise, and we still don't see it. Like we're not valuing. We don't really see the value in each other out of that. We look at each other as a number like everything else. Like, nigga, what kind of car you got? What the average man talks to a woman, they gonna say what he do, what he got, what he drive, where he live at. You know, the average man, he wants to know about a woman. He's gonna say, what she look like, because the man 9 out of 10 is being driven by reproduction, sexual activity. This is the obvious. This is the thing that actually drives the majority of men. I'm not saying the elite. Men who actually look above that. I'm saying the average. On the average of a woman, they're looking for security. What he do? What can he provide? What can he have for me? This is the obvious. So when you go into people that come up from the depths of where a season has come from, California, very expensive place, a lot of people there. A lot of these people are gifted people in California though. Like bro, when I think about going to California, being out there, for some reason I see people that have been through a lot, that will do a whole lot, but hey man, they have burned this motherfucker down. Like the system don't have to do it. The people in California will literally be the first people to say, "We're not paying for this. We're not having it no more. Whatever we need to do now, we're gonna do it now. Like let's go." These are the people that the energy that I get. You come from the place where I personally think I've been in the South. This interview is not about me, but I've been in the South forever. And me and you actually talk about this. So that's the only reason why I want to speak about it. Me being from the South, Dallas, I've been in the majority of my life. I've been in Dallas. Shout out to Dallas, Texas. What's popping? But yeah, bro, but I don't see that camaraderie from California where they going shit. When Pac, he was from the East Coast. But when he went to the West Coast, for some reason he felt like even the West Coast took him down too. Like I said, we definitely have to get. I want to get into the gangster, how the gang movement came from the Black Panthers. I want to definitely get into that in this interview. That is one of my main focuses that I want to get to is how did we get from the gangster that was a revolutionary to a gang member, to where they held down their hood or their section that they was in, from gangsters actually wearing a purse and you hearing that they're by gender, whatever we put. How did we get to this point? I feel like you can actually, for the young people, you can actually go into all those chapters. Like you was around when all of these things happened. How did we get from the revolutionary to the callous killer gang member that they quoted us as, all the way up into the gangster that's been in prison and in and out and indoctrinated to where a lot of the gangsters are wearing dresses now. How did we get to this place?
Like I said again, man, made up gangsters, bro. That's after Pac and them, after they took Pac and them out of the hip hop game. I got to go back there again because now you coming out of the era where even Snoop, man, look, when Pac died, Snoop went pop. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. You know what I mean? So it's like as soon as they got rid of Pac and them and they whole entourage, the main focus was to water down anyone that would stand up for any cause. So what you got next was some made up, make up media gangsters. So most of those teenagers that went to school and heard about before when Pac died, they barely heard about that stuff. So what they heard about next was some imitating news broadcasted thugs. Them cats ain't never did no. They coming out of Lil Wayne talking about he a blood because Mac 10 came to Hot Boys. Come on, bro. They cats don't even follow reality. As soon as he come to Hot Boys, all of a sudden you a blood, and then you pay to be a blood, and we supposed to act like that's like something we respect, and now you a gangster. That's how we came from that to this by accepting that these cats go to jail, come out, say, yeah, I'm a crip from here, and bro, that ain't how that shit work. But you can sell that to these cats here because you just came from jail. They ain't thinking about was you getting fucked in the booty. All they thinking is you was in jail in a rough place that they scared of. Now they scared of you because you out here. So they take what you just said as soul. Now you a gangster. That's how we got here by show and tell gangster. There no action though on those street gangs. Listen to half these rappers, man, talking about they thugs. They can give you no history of them thugging, no history and none of that music of them thugging, of incidents in that thugging. When you was out on the set, you had incidents where cats rode on your mama house. I don't hear none of that. None of that. None of that. Your partner's funerals. If y'all got real partners, I ain't hearing about them until the industry decided to take one of y'all out, and then now you wanted to wear a shirt for him. But before that, your thug partners, we ain't hear nothing about them. But we supposed to say you a gangster. I don't get none of that, bro. None of that, bro. None of that. Only gangsters that was real was Nipsey Hussle, bro. Nipsey, and I don't even give Snoop no gangster the gangster card. That's real life. I don't give him no gangster card. He's affiliated with where he's from. You know what I mean? But he would no drive by gangster and hit him up and go out. No, none of that, bro. None of that.
So
None of that. So, like I say, when they get rid of cats that will, like you say, them California cats that'll burn your house down, burn the store down. When they got rid of focus being on individuals like that, the focus had to go on some weaker individuals, and that's the truth. They dressed them cats up like what we know to be as thugs, but they can't had them come out on some dancing on pole type shit. You feel me? So they give you the new wave thug. The new wave thug is not the one that's go. Yeah, I mean, Mark killed my brother. He wasn't no hard individual. So that don't say them when they be like, yeah, what them youngsters killing. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of busters with guns doing killing. But that ain't saying nothing. The only reason they able to kill is because we ain't showed them what real fear is. So they got a playground right now. The real Jesus said, hey man, you know what? I done had my battle. And I ain't even cool with supporting none of this fruity stuff out here. So they chose to sit at home and take care of their kingdoms. That's why we ain't out there. But I do music, man, as a soundtrack of life to report back. You know, if it gets picked up and people share it and more people tune in, then maybe we can go somewhere. But other than that, it's almost like with me, they're wasting my time. They don't want to wake up. You know, you can only save a few, but you can waste your time trying to save all of them.
yeah, hey man, and I say that's real because I look at and you say save a few. I look at it like we all part of the same tribe. Bro, I probably owe three people in this world. Three people. And I can say within those three people that I owe, I would definitely in this lifetime give them more than what I owe them. There's no doubt about it in my life. Get them tenfold times what they gave me or what I owe them. I say that comfortably, being able to say that. But with that being said, when we come from these gang cultures, these cultures that came from actually communities that thought, hey, even in slavery, your ancestors thought if they did die for your freedom, they thought like this: I'm dying, so my kids, hopefully these people that come after me, they know what I know, and they have a chance. They have a fighting chance. So to see that we taking the fighting chance from each other when we come from these people who just hope that we have a dream, and then one day we put on a different flag or a different rag that distinguishes ourselves from each other, to where we actually come to a point that where we will have harm against each other based on something that really started off innocent. You from a place where you know this history. You're not one of the people I have to go back and forth who just looked at a movie one day and said, hey man, colors on here. I'm a trip with knowledge. I'm a trip with knowledge over something he say that's different than what they said on my side of town or this or that. How did we get from being seeing the Klan to being actually worse? We actually adopted the same mentality that they have in the Klan with the gang. Now I'm not saying this is not the original gang function. The Crips, the Bloods, all the people that come up from the West, they definitely, a lot of these people definitely actually knew the true origins. They knew the true origins. So you being from this
Yeah, we
sector,
yeah, we travel. I can't speak about nobody ain't from the home, but we travel, and that travel came from looking out for my people in my community. So that's I'm almost 50, bro. So you see, I wear my flag. That's out of remembrance of the love that I share. That's not out of trying to pump fear. That's not out of trying to show somebody that I was in a gang. No, none of that. This is my family. If you want to celebrate the 4th of July and then put up the American flag, then respect my flag. That's what that's about. Respect that, because that's what that's about. Is my family that I supported, that I knew was in trouble, that was in places that needed help. You feel me? So as young men, we didn't have fathers walking around with us all day. Who has that? and you living in a danger zone. That's my reality. We had fire drills that was called Code Yellow in my school. Those was drive-by drills. I ain't from fairyland. You feel me? I'm from a place where you had to survive just to go to school and learn. That means, hey, just because you got your books going to school and you got a nice blue outfit on, some guys in red might just take that wrong and you get shot at on the way to school. That's reality. We ain't on that Nickelodeon conversation around here. You know what I'm saying? We don't deal with that old I need to fit in with people and wear a flag because Snoop is popping. Mine's gonna be blue this year. Oh, guess what? The game came out. Snoop ain't popping. My shit red this year, nigga. Cause guess what? Ain't nobody gonna threaten me. That's that wussy route, man. That's the wussy route. So this is representing a bond of brothers. Now, and this is also to let those identify that, hey, these are brothers that actually have a bond amongst each other, an oath. You feel me?
Yeah,
Like people freely today like to come loose lipply. See, when they
yeah,
saw this flag, they didn't do all that. They didn't do all that. They knew what time it was. Ain't no playing here. You feel me? So this is
yeah. See,
reality. This
yeah,
flag means reality. If it has to go back to slavery, this is reality. You know, community rescue and progress. That's what that is. So I'm here to help you, but if you cross me, you know what kind of punishment I can bring. That's
no,
reality. That's reality. The army wear fatigues, green fatigues. That's their flag. That's their flag. And they got army soldiers that come back home and kill their own citizens. Just like you got a crip that'll lose his temper, and he have it on his own crew. So every one of these markers around the world we call defense systems or what we call organizations all do the same thing. The Crips and Bloods, you gonna always have what you said, the originals from where it originated from that really understand what that's about and why they doing it. But you'll have some other ones just like anything that have no understanding and they'll show you nothing but corruption. Nothing but corruption. Because they have no foundation. They have no structure, no guidelines. They all running off what they thought was seen on TV. They running off what they thought their homeboy said his homeboys did that was that. You feel me? So it's all an imitation game, man. Half the cats I see claiming to be a gangster, I'm like, bro, y'all ain't got nobody riding around here beefing with y'all, man. What the hell is y'all claiming, dog? You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody beefing with you, bro. It's cool. It's easy to wear a flag when ain't no other set around. I
that's
always
real.
say that shit.
Yeah, that's
That's the
real.
easy shit to do.
It's easy to
That's
wear
the
a
easy
flag.
shit to do.
Easy to wear the flag when ain't,
Right?
yeah, when ain't no set around. Hey, but you hit on you hit on many topics because the system that we do run, they do have a military for protection. They have underground operations to where if they feel like somebody is threatening their patriotism, they will set up hold, bro. They can go in front of your house, cut off your electricity, right in front of your house, cut off your water where your water won't move, electricity, everything
Yeah.
can be cut off, and they will raid your house just like it was a prison cell. They already have a scope of
No,
how your
real
house
shit.
look and everything. Like so, when we look at just knowing these things are the way they are, how do we go from this? Like you say, I love the words you said, tribal. Like if we stop calling each other gangs and say we tribes, some young dudes did this to me Saturday, Friday. Young dude come up that I didn't know him from nothing. Hey, strictly from this right here. Shout out to the gods, the people that know anything about this electromagnetic field right here. Nico Tesla actually used this as a form of energy. This shape here, but little young guys walk up to me and they said, "Hey man, what does that mean on your neck?" And to them it totally meant something tribal. The dude said life, but the other dude said, "Hey man, like end of the day, he felt like this big constraint of nobody wants you to know who you are or know your true origins of where you come from because of how great you would be. You would connect with people that look like you. So it's the same things that we see, but for some reason we just don't keep getting it right. And as a sign of your music, everything that you embody, you embody a lot of the codes of the Black Knights. But I think even yourself, Sometimes the strong people feel like they alone. They by themselves. They're not getting the support from the people. The people are not hearing exactly what like we have this technology, but it does matter on if you popping. I mean, it matters if other people are looking. If other people are visually saying, "Hey, this person is here," I'm attracted and I'm glued to this person. What are they offering to me? And that is a huge thing. And I feel like the negativity, the underworld. That's why we have to go to the dark world in order to see the light. Like a lot of times, especially nowadays, bro, you literally have to because of what you hear. Sexy Red. Look at a lot of the musicians. They speak about man, somebody talking about the color of their dookie hole, brother. And this is like a
That's
top
what
charting song.
they, they being guided by industry heads though. That's the industry heads, man. That's the, you know, like I said before, anyone that makes you think of making any positive movement will not be heard from. Not like that. You feel me?
Yeah.
It costs a lot of money to get your song played on the radio in rotation. So in order for them to push that song through rotation, it's got to be something that'll feed the masses in a way that it won't make them feel strong or come together. That's it. Point blank. So that's why they support anything where you know dudes talking about just dumb drugs and they got females and the females talking about how much they can suck a watermelon up a straw. They love that. They love that because they like, oh yeah, y'all ain't gonna do nothing. This y'all ain't gonna do nothing. Y'all going to the club tonight. That's exactly what y'all gonna do. And guess what you gonna do? You gonna break up your home because of the shit you brainwashing yourself on. Because see, she only want to be in the crowd to be seen, so she gonna wear something that gonna piss her dude off. You feel me? So they know exactly what they want you to keep hearing in the ghetto. That ain't the music they playing up the hill. So they
No,
know what they want you to hear.
no, and
So they definitely not gonna let you hear nothing real.
the Mexican
But
music,
that's where we come to play.
I can't lie.
That's
Hey,
where we come to play though.
it's a Mexican song where they saying Belito, Belito, Cama Sabecito. I don't even know what the fuck they saying, but the vibration of it, that
They
shit,
make you do something.
yeah, it just make you do
Right.
something. And I'm
Right.
like, us
Right.
every time now. I didn't heard a few songs where the beats kind of make me do that. You know, I say, bro, we have the best engineers in this world, best producers, a lot of the stuff, but bringing that unit together, I say it's the cause of the Black Knight. We might not have all the eyes in the world and things people looking right now, but it's no option. They're gonna have to pay attention. It's gonna think, but where they have to pay attention. We got a lot of obstacles, a lot of different things that work against us. Um, yeah, a lot of things that work against us. So when I look at a God like yourself, bro, with the amount of music you have and all type, I'm like, one person could look at certain things and see the disadvantages. I only see the advantages. It's a young man's game. It's just like a boxer. It's a young man's game, a young man's sport. However, when we get comfortable and we start letting time go by and we don't actually take for granted what's in front of us right now. What happens is that anybody, old, young, it could be whatever, they can come slip right in between those cracks because they are prepared. So what some people look at as a disadvantage, I look at it's totally an advantage. You run across somebody that's seasoned and prepared to meet. The only thing they need to meet is the moment. Hey man, I don't know. I would have way more fear of a old boxer who then went to prison, a Bernard Hopkins type of person where he is prepared for every situation than a young person who just think, hey, I got the juice, it's on and popping. Like, yeah, you're gonna feel that hungry line, man. So like I see a lot, man. AC, um, out of this whole interview, front to the back, beginning to the front, man. What is your message? Where can everybody reach you? And what is like the line? Like, what is the message that you would want to push, or what you think people could get out of going to listen to the chapters and chapters of music that you got out there?
Hey man, all I can say is if you're looking for good music, some real music that's speaking real life, then that's where you find mine at in that category. but you can find it on YouTube. ACEZY. On here is on the XY. I think I messed up on that spelling, but it's
AC,
ACEZY. Yeah, ACEZY. YouTube or Spotify. Same thing. ACEZY. But the music, man, I just express how I feel. I don't write music. I just express how I'm feeling at the moment I hear the track. So if the track is telling me to speak, then I speak. I don't play beats and see if I like the beat. If the beat tell me to say something, then I end up putting it in the lab and push record. And I just, record the emotions that I'm going through at that moment. So 3 minutes or 4 minutes, however long it takes. But I just share it with the world, man, as a soundtrack of my life, you know what I mean, and a personal audit that I do for myself pretty much every day.
God body, God body, man. So yeah, bro. Closing statement. Closing statements to your interview, bro. This is not gonna be the last. This is definitely not gonna be the last interview. Last time we're gonna do this, man. What's your closing statements, man? What you got out there to push? What's your message you got to push out there to the world?
Support your people. Stop looking to social media and supporting people that's already famous. It's a lot in our communities we talk about that we can see as problems, but we never really run toward a solution. And on this solution, I can say we all supporting each other. Not just talking about supporting some fairy tale person we can't see, because we need to see some type of examples of something happening from what we're talking about. So support your people. You see somebody doing something within your community, support them. Even if it's just letting them know they're doing a good job. We speak energy. Energy goes a long way. You know what I mean? Paying forward ain't always giving people money. Sometimes it's just a genuine word. If they doing some type of work, then give them some compliments on their work. If you feel like it ain't a compliment you can give, then be respectful and give that. But we need to stop being so selfish and thinking we the only ones that have something to offer life. And a lot of times the people around us is the ones that help us build that we can offer life.
God body, God body. In closing, man, I say, man, y'all could have been anywhere else in the world, but y'all was right here, with us. And we had the prophet A. Caesar. Bro spoke on so much tonight, so much, and bigger than anything, like he ended it out. We could support each other from different type ways. I think the biggest way that you could support a person is with your thoughts, giving out good energy, sending energy. Sometimes a person just needs to hear it. Definitely. If yeah, your opinion of something, it might be an opinion in their life. It could be an opinion of their music. It could be whatever. You never know. A person could be this close between the balance of life and death, thin line between love and hate. There's no telling. And I have to give my brother right here props because coming from a gangbang culture or what they consider a gangbang culture is no different than coming from a culture of where some people are kings and queens sitting up on a mountain where they can't be disturbed, but they have an army protecting them versus people who come from nothing and have nobody, not even their family, for protection of them. Especially where the man is gone from your house. The only thing you got is young boys and young women that are all lost and they coming together trying to find a way. Understand we are all from a lost tribe. With that saying, man, I appreciate the God body ACZ for even coming on the platform and definitely being part of this, man. I think it was monumental. There's definitely a lot of people gonna go out here and learn from. With the most, I hope that y'all learn a lot about the artist, ACZ, and go follow him because a lot of these things we talked about tonight is in bruh music. Like it is there. A lot of the people here around, he shout out these people 24/7. He put y'all name, but it's crazy because he spoke to me prior to this interview and said, "Man, people only celebrate you when you die. People only celebrate people at their funeral." So I mean, let's look at this shit and like let's do something different. Like, let's give people their flowers while they're here. This is what we should have called this segment. I should have put out all that shit and put back out the flowers while they're here, because I got to get a God his flowers while they're here. Hey, that's my brother. That's not my friend. Like, most definitely. So we're gonna give our people their moving flowers while they're here. We're gonna do shit a whole lot different in way. And we coming with a different energy from this point forward. No, there will be none of the bullshit. We ain't having none of that shit. Square business. Hey man, with that being said, hey CZ, God body, I appreciate you for popping up, man. Popping up tonight. God body, you the truth, man. With that being said, I mean y'all could have been anywhere else, but y'all was here. One love. God body.
One love.